Orbeetle VMAX has been a very popular card on YouTube for a couple of weeks now. We've seen straight Orbeetle, we've seen Orbeetle combined with Roxy, we've seen Orbeetle and Flapple from Japan, we've seen Orbeetle with Sable IV, we've seen Psychic Orbeetle with the Blacephalon package, we've seen Orbeetle VMAX with Alone Sand/GX, we've seen Orbeetle with Salamence VMAX, and we've even seen Orbeetle and in Expanded. But there's one deck that I have not seen on YouTube that I thought I would, and this is Orbeetle VMAX combined with Dragapult VMAX. Now, I'm not sure why I haven't seen this deck on YouTube. You know, I do feel like these two do have some synergy, and some might ask, why don't we just play Zigzagoon? Isn't that a little bit more consistent than the clunky stage 1 that Orbeetle VMAX is? Now the answer to that is yes, Zigzagoon is a lot more consistent. However, Eerie Beam acts as a unlimited Zigzagoon. It acts as like an unlimited headbutt tantrum. Basically every turn we can essentially put 1 damage counter everywhere, and this allows us to spread more damage and be much more effective than Zigzagoon, while at the same time sacrificing consistency. This is the list I've been playing around with. Certainly does not feel like a tier 1 deck, but I do feel like this deck does have some potential. The idea is to set up both Orbeetles and Dragapult VMAXs. Dragapult VMAX, if you don't know what it does, the attack that we want to be using is Max Phantom, which does 130 damage for just 2 psychic energies and puts 5 damage counters anywhere we like on our opponent's Pokemon. Now, as you can see, this list does not play hammers. So if we go against something like Eternatus, you might wonder, how do we win? Well, the answer is that we attack with Orbeetle VMAX. With the amount of spread damage we do, we should be able to reach 2-hit KOs on Eternatus VMAXs pretty often. And how do we attack with Orbeetle VMAX? Well, we utilize Aurora Energy. Aurora Energy allows us to attack with both Dragapult VMAXs and Orbeetle VMAXs in the same deck, because Aurora Energies can also function as a Psychic Energy, which we can attack to Dragapult VMAX if need be. So we play a 3-2 line of Orbeetle Vs and Orbeetle VMAXs, a 4-3 line of Dragapult Vs to Dragapult VMAXs, because we do want to be attacking with Dragapult VMAX most of the time. And we don't play something like a Jirachi engine in here, so we do need to play the 2 Dedenne to Crobat for a lot of draw power for support Pokemon. Actually make that 5, because we do play an Eldegoss here. It's been really nice allowing us to recover things like Boss, which we may discard early, or Bird Keepers, or just other supporters. In this deck, we play 2 Evolution Incense, 4 Pokemon Communication, and 4 Quick Ball. This is a pretty heavy line of search, and this is because we do play 2 lines of stage 2, so we definitely do need that heavy search power to get them out as soon as possible. And we do play 4 Pokégear as well. I found that Pokégears are pretty nice. It does allow us to find the supporters that we need to for turn. And because this deck is sort of clunky, we do want Pokégears just to improve consistency by that much. We play 4 Switch. I feel like that's a given, because we do want to switch into Orbeetle VMAX, because Orbeetle VMAX does need to be in the active to spread that damage. So we do have 4 switching here for that. We do play 1 of Tool Scrapper. This is for the Lucario and Melmetal GX matchup primarily. That matchup still feels like sort of an auto loss, because we don't play 2 Tool Scrappers. But 1 Tool Scrapper basically gives us somewhat of a fighting chance, so that's the reason it's in here. Play 1 Chaotic Swell just to bump things like Giant Hearts, or just any other stadiums that might be annoying. We play 3 Bird Keeper. The reason we don't play a 4th is because I've never felt that I've needed a 4th Bird Keeper. I feel like playing 3 allows me to see enough Bird Keepers. We do play 3 line of Draw Supporter, 3 Bird Keeper, 3 Marnie, and 3 Research. Pretty heavy line. We're playing more than 8, so I feel like just playing 3 Bird Keeper is fine. Here we play 2 Boss's Orders, primarily because we don't really have room for a 3rd. Play 2 U-Turn Board, and one might ask, why don't we play Air Balloon over U-Turn Board? And this is because if our opponent plays a Tool Scrapper and we would only play 2 air balloons, and they remove our air balloons, we would no longer be able to pivot into Orbeetle VMAX without or we would no longer be able to promote Orbeetle VMAX after something like a Dragapult VMAX is knocked out without having to use a Switch or a Bird Keeper. So playing U-Turn Board allows us to play around things like Tool Scrapper, and fortunately for us, we are not affected by Absol if our opponent's playing that, because Orbeetle VMAX is a stage 1, so U-Turn Board is definitely better than Air Balloon in this deck, I would say. Played 3 Aurora Energies and 7 Psychic Energies. Pretty straightforward, I would say. And let's hop into some games. Alright, so hopping into our first game here against a bunch of baby duck. Alright, cool. Good luck to him or her. Gonna call it a coin flip. Let's go with tails. And we do lose the coin flip. Most of the time we want to go second with this deck, because we are playing that many stage 1s and want to get them out as soon as possible. Starting hand's not looking too good. This Pokégear can get us something like a research, but the rest of his hand looking pretty bad. Definitely want to top deck something like a quick ball to get us out of this spot that we're in, or just top deck a quick ball in general, so we can, if we top deck a quick ball, we try the Pokégear first to see if we can hit a draw supporter. If we don't, we need a quick ball for something like a Dedenne or a Crobat. There's the Intrepid Sword from our opponent. Looks like they don't have a lot going for them, but they managed to get 2 energies onto the Zacian. That's pretty bad for us. Start off with the Pokégear, I think. No Marnie, unfortunately. Would have loved to Marnie hold on to some Switch's energies, but unfortunately here, just gonna have to fail that. And I guess I'll have a look at the deck with the Evolution Incense as well. Yeah, our opponent getting 2 energies onto this Zacian is really bad for us, because this means the chances of them being able to KO our Eldegoss is pretty bad, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on us next turn, so we need to get set up this turn now. So we priced the Crobat, priced the Pokécom, priced a Quick Ball as well, and the Switch, a Marnie as well, and 7. We actually priced no energies this game, which is pretty impressive, because we have the highest chances of pricing an energy out of any card in this deck, and somehow didn't, so that's pretty cool. Let's see what we draw here. Nothing too amazing, unfortunately. No Orbeetle V to be drawn, so I think I'm gonna quick ball away either a Dragapult VMAX or a draw supporter. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna Marnie my opponent next turn or not, so I feel like quick balling away Dragapult VMAX feels like the safest play here, I think. So I'm gonna quick ball away Dragapult VMAX. Just gonna grab out a Dragapult V and hope our opponent cannot boss KO it. If they do, we are sitting in a pretty gosh darn rough spot. Gonna attach U-Turn to the active here, because if this gets KO'd, comes back to our hand, and we can just attach it to the Dragapult V. Just gonna attach energy here and pass to our opponents. See what they have going for them this turn. Yeah, them getting 2 energies onto the Zacian, not ideal for us, and it is ADPZ. So they only play 8 to 9 metal, so that is a little unlucky. The chances of them hitting 2 metal energies off of Intrepid Sword were not high, and they somehow managed to do it. There's the energy switch. Do they have the boss's orders to KO our Dragapult V? I feel like they do if they're making this play. There's another energy switch, however, probably moving this to the ADP, I would imagine. Let's see what happens. Do they have the boss's orders? There's the boss's orders from our opponent. That's just super unfortunate. Yeah, our opponent had everything. Not a lot of, yeah, with the Pokégear not getting us a Marnie there, definitely a little unfortunate. But we're still in this game, I would say. Just really behind. But it's okay. We're gonna research here, see what we draw into. Okay, this hand's not terrible. Gonna bench this, attach Aurora Energy, probably just get rid of the Tool Scrapper here, and pass on to our opponent. Let's see if they have another boss's orders to KO our Dragapult V, like they always do. So let's see what our opponents got going for them. Do they have a switch, a way to retreat, and the boss's orders on our Dragapult V, or are they just gonna go with the altered creation? Or they could also Intrepid Sword as well, but I feel like our opponent should either attack or altered creation this turn, just to keep the pressure on us. Here's the Oranguru bench from our opponent. Yeah, just them getting the boss's orders off, aiming the 2 energies onto the Station V. Definitely a little unlucky. There's the Dedenne-GX from our opponent. Getting rid of an Eldegoss, that's really good. That gives them one less chance to access the boss's orders in the later points of the game. There's the switch into the ADP. Do they have another switch? Nope, just the altered creation. Alright. That's okay with us, I think. There's a Pokégear. I'm gonna play the Pokégear here, see what we hit. There's a Marnie. Do I want to go with the Marnie this turn? I'm gonna take the Marnie here. Evolve into the Orbeetle VMAX, and I just play the Marnie here, see what we draw. Sort of hope for the best. There is okay, this hand's not bad. We can definitely work with this. Going to combat a Dedenne-GX, go for a Dragapult VMAX, and just Dede change. Hope we hit an energy here. We can get an Eerie Beam going for us as well. Gonna retreat. Go with that Eerie Beam, spread a bunch of damage everywhere. Switch into the Dragapult VMAX and the Dedenne. Hopefully our opponent does somehow manages to whiff an attack here. There's a Psychic Energy, that's good. Gonna throw it attached to active and just go for that Max Phantom. And yep, just pray that our opponent doesn't have an attack, because if they do, we have to sit behind Orbeetle VMAX a turn, charge up a new Dragapult V, and just hope for the best. I think we've done our best to win this game. I think we're just going to fall a little bit short in the very end. However, we're going to put all 5 on the Station V here, and yeah, to see what our opponent has going for them. Yep, there's the Metal Energy, and yikes. Alright. If they decide the bosses order something up, that's also fine with us. There's just the ultimate ray from our opponent. Now we have to sit behind Orbeetle VMAX a turn and charge up a brand new Dragapult V. Because if we attack with this, we lose the game, and don't want to lose quite yet. There's the Pokégear. We're just gonna Bird Keeper here into this, and alright, gonna bench this, attach the Psychic Energy, go for that Eerie Beam, and hope that our opponent doesn't have a boss's orders, because if they do, we do just lose the game. If they do have a boss's orders, it is what it is. We tried our very best, and in the very end, we're gonna take an L because our opponent, hits the nuts. Because they drew really well. Turn 1, they managed to hit 2 energies onto that Station V. That's probably going to cost us here in the very end. But our opponent opts to go for the Great Catcher onto our Dedenne-GX. There's the boss's orders, however. Looks like they got that off of the Primate Wisdom. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you just get unlucky against ADPZ. And yeah, that's going to do it for Game 1 against ADPZ. A little unlucky for us. Our opponent drew really well. We drew mediocre. And yeah, let's see if we can get a dub in the next one. Alright, so hopping into our next game against Vinci88. Hopefully we don't hit ADPZ this game. I think that matchup is a little rough. Let's see what our opponents decides. We do win the coin flip. I'm going to opt to go second. I think that's definitely still most optimal. And the starting hand is not great. What do we want to do? I want to start Eldegoss or Crobat. We do probably have another Crobat in deck, so I'm going to opt to start Crobat. See how that works out for us. And yeah, let's see what we're up against. And it looks like we are Zamazenta. That's not good to see. This is probably Luke Metal. They attach the metal coating energy as well. There's the doll from our opponent. Just a pass. Alright, that's pretty good. Put top deck Pokémon is also really good as well. This allows us to get a Dragapult V to work with, which is what we want. And yeah, Luke Metal definitely not a really favorable matchup for us, unfortunately. But you know, ladder is ladder, and you take what you get. So bench this Orbeetle V here, attached to the Dragapult V, and I think we just chill with this hand. Leave the Crobat in the active here, and hope for the best. Definitely have a pretty good hand to work with next turn. Let's see if our opponent has a draw supporter to work with. If they don't, we're in a really good spot. Next turn we do have a Jet Assault lined up to be able to punch into this Zamazenta. There's a Fion from our opponent, that's fine. We'll just promote the Orbeetle V. I'm perfectly fine with that. They bench the second Zamazenta and the Marnie. Alright, that's fine, but we are down a pretty hefty amount of draw supporters because yep, PTCGO hands do be like that sometimes. So if there's the Orbeetle VMAX, that's good. We have a Pokégear, which is also good. And it's just gonna promote the Orbeetle V here. Not really a problem with us, because we're just gonna VMAX here. We do have a Pokégear to work with. Or I can actually just go for the Quick Ball away the Pokégear. I definitely want to attach here. Go for that Eerie Beam. On our opponent, and I think we just go for the Jet Assault here. Our opponent doesn't really have Metal Energies in the discard pile or Zacian V to work with, so the chances of them being able to KO a Dragapult V next turn aren't high, so I'm actually feeling pretty confident here. Just gonna switch into this. Do I want to go for anything else this turn? I think I just want to see more cards, so I'm gonna pull away the Pokégear here. Go for our second Crobat. The reason being, using Crobat here gets us the most value out of Crobat as possible. We usually want to DAA change when we have other cards in hand, because that gives us more value for DAA. If we Crobat with cards in hand, doesn't really allow us to see more cards. There's another Orbeetle V. I think we can just sort of chill with this hand. Just go for Jet Assault here. We can't really ask for more out of this turn, to be honest. We hit the turn 2 Jet Assault against Luke Metal. If our opponent has a Mallow and Lana to work with, that would be really bad for us. There's the Mallow and Lana from our opponent. That's super annoying. But hey, at least they're not too set up. They opt to get rid of another Marnie, so that tells us their hand isn't too bad actually. Probably should have benched this Orbeetle V now that I think about it, because we could have KO'd this doll this turn with Eerie Beam, I think. If we hit enough switching effects. So, oh, they opt to shuffle back in the doll here. I'm not too sure how I feel about that one, because they just allow us to hit this again, which is pretty weird. I don't know why they would shuffle the doll back in. That's super weird. But I'm not complaining, so I'm just gonna Bird Keeper into this Crobat V here, see what we draw. No switching effects, so we cannot go for that Eerie Beam this turn, unfortunately, but that is a-okay, I think. Probably just bench this one, I think. Bench this Dragapult V. Do I want to set up another Orbeetle VMAX? I don't think that's really necessary. Probably just gonna hold this in hand in case we need it for a Pokemon Communication. If we can attach Aurora to this Dragapult V here, retreat back into this Dragapult V and go for that Jet Assault once more. So we're hitting this pretty hard. 140 damage. So again, if they don't have another Mallow and Lana to work with, we do KO this. I wholeheartedly disagree with our opponent shuffling back in that doll last turn. I don't think that was the optimal play at all, because that allows us to hit into this. Our opponent could definitely pull off the Full Metal Wall this turn, which would be very annoying. But if they do, it is what it is. They opt to attach active, so it looks like we're getting attacked here. There's the Metal Goggles. That doesn't change the math. There's the Stealthy Hood onto this Zamazenta. Prevent all effects. Is effects damage counters? I'm not sure. I don't really agree with the Metal Goggles attachment, because we do still one-hit KO this with, we still KO this with Jet Assault. So I think we can Bird Keeper into this Orbeetle VMAX, spread some damage, and see how that works out for us. Yeah. So just gonna Bird Keeper here. Not a whole lot to work with, unfortunately. Just gonna go for that Eerie Beam. Okay, so it does block the Eerie Beam part. That sort of sucks, but we do have Tool Scrapper to work with. We do need to keep that in mind. So this is dying next turn, so we do have room for Dedenne. Do we have second U-Turn deck? If we do, I might want to set up another Orbeetle VMAX potentially. So I think I'm gonna bench this maybe. I think that's okay, because we do have 2 Quick Ball to work with so far, and our opponent might not even be able to attack next turn. So maybe I don't want to bench this so far. I'm gonna switch, and I'm just gonna attack here. Yeah, because if our opponent doesn't KO this, we could actually VMAX and start spreading some damage, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm gonna take 2 prize cards here. There's another Dragapult V, and 3 Quick Balls in our hand is not what we want to see. but it's alright. So our opponent promotes the doll here. We do have a boss's orders to work with in our hand, which is pretty cool. Just a Marnie from our opponent. So things are going to change. A lot of our searching outs for Dedennes and stuff are going to the bottom of the deck, which sort of sucks, I'm not going to lie. But there's the VMAX, not complaining. There's the Switch as well. So yeah, I'm definitely not complaining here. There's the saucer to the to this, which is okay. They also attach. Looks like we're getting attacked with Full Metal Wall here, but I actually think we're okay because we have the adequate response in our hand. So definitely pretty fortunate draw from us, I'm not even gonna lie. The fact that we're able to respond with the Max Phantom is pretty lucky, I would say. Can't lie there. So we're gonna be able to evolve here. There's the other VMAX as well. I'm gonna hold on to it. Attach here, just switch into this Dragapult VMAX, and just hit our opponent pretty hard here. And actually not hard at all. 80 damage is not a lot. So if our opponent has a Malon to work with, again, it's gonna be kind of rough. But we are sort of ahead on the prize trade, and our opponent hitting 50 damage is not that threatening to us this turn. They are 3-hit KOing us, which is lovely. And if they don't get a goggles, we actually, if we keep hitting 80, we can hit 80 2 more times, I think. 160 plus 90 is 250, and then we can just switch into this Orbeetle VMAX and actually KO this. So if our opponent doesn't get something like a goggles on this turn, we're looking like we're in a pretty good spot. So a goggles on this turn or the following turn, I should say. So let's see if they decide to attach the energy from the deck onto this. They do. Alright, that's fine with us. Let's go draw here. There's another Dragapult V. It's not that good. Oh, I probably should have played this last turn. I'm going to play the Evolution Incense. Probably just did not this Dragapult VMAX, I think. I should have done this last time to shuffle the deck to increase our odds of hitting something like a Quick Ball or a Pokémon, since they were all on the bottom of the deck. So definitely a little misplay on my part there. I'm actually going to just grab the Orbeetle VMAX here, because if we top deck something like a Research, I think we might want to hold on to this Dragapult VMAX. I really don't want to attack with the damaged Dragapult VMAX, so we might want to set up a fresh one, for example. So I'm just going to go with the Max Phantom here. This for 80 again, spread more damage. And we're not looking like we're in too bad of a spot, but we definitely want to draw something to get out of this hole that we're in. Because we're still in top deck mode. They opt to go with the heavy impact here. Not too sure how I feel about that one, because this will die next turn, but I guess if our opponent wants to do it, they can. There's the Dedenne top deck. Alright, I'm just gonna Dedenne now. Alright, that's fine. Don't want to evolve this. Yeah, don't want to evolve the damaged one. If I have to, I will, but I don't know if it's necessary right now. But I think I still want to attach here, just to be able to set up the, or we could actually go for the Eerie Beam this turn, KO the active. That could also be pretty good. Running out of time. No, I think I'll just attach here. Played a little bit safe. Just go for that Max Phantom. Maybe this is a misplay on my part, because they could get a goggles down this turn, or something like a Mallow Lana, which would be very annoying. So maybe I should have paid the manual retreat last turn. But we'll see. We'll see how this panned out. No, just a heavy impact from our opponents. Alright, that's fine with us. We do have access to another Dedenne or an Eldegoss if we choose to do so. And yeah, we're actually looking pretty good so far. As long as our opponent doesn't find a way to KO, as long as our opponent doesn't find a Zacian V and 2 saucers and an attachment to KO our Dragapult VMAX, I think we will just win the game here. Actually, we do just win, I think. Just go for that Eerie Beam. We just need an energy to work with, I just realized. Alright, that's cool. There's the Research, that's good. There's the Psychic Energy, so we will be taking a dub against the Luke Metal here. I forgot about Eerie Beam, so now we just switch and use Jet Assault, and we will be taking a dub against our opponent's Luke Metal CE deck, which is definitely a very rough matchup for us. But very fortunately, we were able to take a dub here, and I was able to show off the power of Orbeetle VMAX, which I am content with. And that's going to do it for the games with the Orbeetle VMAX Dragapult VMAX deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, remember to stay safe, and have a good day, and peace out.